Hi everyone. So in this video, we're going to continue to talk about what I talked about yesterday, which is when you want to feel loved yourself, give love to someone else. Now, I've heard this before. You must have heard this before many times, but try to implement it and see for yourself how powerful it is if you don't already do it. You will see how it shifts you. Out of your own feeling of like, oh, woe is me, nobody loves me, that kind of thing, you'll start to see that. So the concept here is when you are with people, one of the things we like to do is give advice, and people might not appreciate it. So there are some pitfalls of advice. One is that the person feels judged, that what I'm doing is not good enough. The second, the person might not be there in to be able to accept your advice or to be able to understand your advice. It doesn't fall. So many times what we will do is, the best way to do it is ask the person, are you okay if I have something that I believe that might help you? I'm not sure if it will, but are you okay if I give you advice around this? And if the person says yes, then you can. But even then, you should be very careful before you even ask the person. Test out with small things rather than big things. Test out first how the person, because you can tell when you give the advice to the person whether the person is feeling responsive or receptive or something. One of the most powerful things we can do for another person is simply be there for them, not give any advice. We might think that we might have the solution, but if we're just there for them and there with them, if they are crying, if we're just sitting there holding their hand and not saying, hey, this is how you can get out of it, that itself, just the feeling that a person can get, that I am loved unconditionally no matter what, I am not judged, that itself is enough. So the theme of this video is, where instead of trying to get the person to do what you think they should do, even if you feel very certain that what I know the answer to this and I can help you feel better, even if you do that, if instead of doing that, if we just simply hold back and we give them what they ask for, what they need, that's it. Many times it's just listening and reflective listening. If the person is saying something, we can respond to them by saying, did I understand correctly that this is how you feel? And it can go to a really deep level too. If somebody is yelling at you, instead of getting triggered or whatever, you can just ask the person, so I'm guessing that you're feeling frustrated or angry with me because you think that I always want your attention and your time. Right? And that person will be like, yeah, you get me. Right? This is what we want. We want to be understood. Instead of being defensive and saying, no, like, I only want what I want is okay. What I want is right. I do need your time. I need 5 minutes. All I'm asking for is 5 minutes of your time in a day or a month or whatever. Like, why can't you even give me that? Or, yeah, total defensive, right? Do you think that the other person is going to respond? No. But if you say, what I'm understanding is that you're feeling angry because I'm always asking for your time. And that's it. And then you let the person be. You really let the person be. So give people what they need, what they're asking for, not even what they need, what they are asking for. Trust that they know what they need in that moment for themselves, and give them what they are asking for, and give them just unconditional validation, unconditional support, unconditional love, right? And you be hold not judgment, hold your advice, hold your feedback. There is a way to give feedback. Of course, the first step is to ask the person, do you want feedback? But otherwise, also hold your advice and just be there for the person and just cry with the person. That is the biggest healing tool ever. Rather than anything you can say to them, any advice you can give to them, the biggest healing tool is just to hold their hand while they're crying, sit with them and say, I'm here for you, no matter what. Some people might be afraid, like I am afraid of asking for help because I feel like I've been in this situation for years or decades and I'm not making progress, and I feel like people who talk to me will be frustrated with me about this. Instead of instead of even saying, or I mean you can say, but be there for them and say, I mean you can say, it doesn't matter if it takes you another 10 years, 20 years, 30 years and to do what you want. I'm not saying that you should do that, but if it takes you that much time for you to do what you want, it doesn't matter. I am here. Don't be afraid that I will judge you, that you're not taking steps, not taking action, not making progress, any of that. I am here for you unconditionally. It doesn't matter. Or if you do all the wrong things, right? You're supposed to do, we're doing all of this personal growth stuff and we know we're not supposed to be negative, or we know we're not supposed to do this, but we do all of it anyways. Then if we tell the person, I'm here for you, no matter how much you mess up, no matter how much you screw up, I'm here for you unconditionally. Don't worry, I'm not leaving. That is what instead of trying to extract from people what can they do for you, give to people what they're asking for and just give love no matter where they are. And the concept of advising people, the pitfalls of advising people is people will feel judged, that I'm not, especially if you keep pushing your advice on somebody, they will feel judged, like I'm not good enough, you're not accepting me for where I am right now. Like if somebody tells you you need to wake up at 4 o'clock and you need to be in the early morning 5 a.m. club or 4 a.m. club or whatever, and you need to do this and this and this, and you're like, you need to do this exercise and this meditation, this whatever, and your day will be perfect because they're doing it. But if they keep saying it to you, then you'll start to feel judged. Like, okay, I'm not good enough because I'm waking up at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. So this person is definitely going to judge me, right? Because I'm not waking up at 4 o'clock. So, like they are. But they're not, I mean, they're saying it. If they let you be, then it's like, okay, it doesn't matter what time I wake up. They're not thinking about that or bothering about that or judging me for that. So, yeah, it's very sensitive. To give advice to someone is a very sensitive topic. And what many people will do many times is they will give advice, and if you don't take it, then they will call you stubborn. And that is the funniest thing ever, because you're not the one who's stubborn for not taking the advice. They're the ones who are stubborn for forcing their advice on you. It's not it's not a good thing to force your advice on somebody. You have to let people be. Live and let live. That is the motto that we have. Live and let live. Let other people live their lives the way they want to live, and you live your life the way you want to live. And don't call the person, stubborn or whatever because they are not taking your advice. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots of loving others in the way they're requesting for it, rather than you needing them to accept your advice because you need validation. I wish you a day filled with consciousness where you can be there for others in the way they need, and then you can be with them in such a good way that they don't want to leave you. They don't want to leave. Like they're like, oh, I like you so much. You're so amazing. I want to be with, I want to spend more time with you. I want to talk to you. I want to call you, like that way. And that doesn't come from advice or brilliance, your own brilliance. That doesn't come from expressing your brilliance. It comes from appreciating other people and just being there for them. Yeah. Okay. Wish you a beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.